Now, is there a judicial ambush going on in Plateau State against elected members of the People's Democratic Party? Well, stakeholders in the state chapter of the party appear to think so. Again, this feeling of injustice may have become more entrenched by the decision of the Plateau State National Assembly Election Tribunal to nullify the election of the PDP candidate for Plateau Central Senatorial District. Golkuna, Yohanna, Gotom, and its subsequent pronouncement of the Plancdicate of All Progressives Congress as winner of the contest. Mr. Gotom joins us now to discuss his grouse against that and on a wider scale look at why the tribunal has been overturning the victory of many PDP candidates in the state. Welcome to Newsday.
Thank you, Nigerians. I greet you all in all the nook and crannies of Nigeria. Thank you.
I'm sure everyone in the nooks and crannies of Nigeria hears you loud and clear. Thank you for your time, Mr. Gotom. Now, let's just start with the last statement that was made. Do you think it's a coincidence that the tribunal is overturning the victory of numerous PDP candidates in the state, or is there more to it than meets the eye?
I totally disagree with this position on the basis that the PDP as a family and as a party, including INEC, conducted the elections of the National Assembly and even the primaries. It was witnessed by INEC. And on the Plateau, it is the only state in Nigeria that the party chairman, Honorable Chris Hassan, has to go for state congress twice in the history of Plateau State, because when other members brought the allegations that the first election was not true and fair, they took it up and they went that the election should be conducted. And the Federal High Court gave the authority that such elections should be repeated. And that election was repeated at landfills. For those of you who are on the Plateau know where landfills is located. And such elections were conducted and won by the majority of votes. Evidence of that video is on ground where Beatrice Kaze testified to Nigerians that if you think it's easy for you to have scored 18 votes in a state congress, go and try it. The videos are available. How comes today? Such elections were conducted, such primaries were conducted in the open, and a winner was declared. And the primaries were held. All of a sudden, you are bringing the issue of non-structure after 1.5 years. The law says if you're having issues with pre-primaries matters, you are expected to lodge your complaint within 14 days. Has the law been turning upside down in Nigeria that someone will sit down after 1 year plus and is talking about non-party structure? Well, it is left for the court to decide this. The People's Democratic Party has an affirmation by the court, that's the appeal court, which supersedes the lower court, that PDP has a legal structure. And on that basis, the majority leader, Simon Motcon, was given his own seat at the tribunal. Isaac Kwalu and Musa Aga. These are clear cases that were won on the platter of gold. I think the appeal court is greater than the tribunal, even though my own case is a peculiar case in Nigeria, in the history of Nigeria. Are you aware that the elections were conducted on the 25th of February 2023? INEC was expected to resolve and declare the winner within 7 days. It took INEC 7 days plus 2 additional months. No winner was declared until they cooked a purported story that results were later discovered from the IRF, and the result could be redeemed. Under Section 149 of the Electoral Act as amended 2022, it is stated in black and white that no one has the capacity to revive dead votes that has been cancelled except by a competent court or by a tribunal. How comes INEC came after 2 months and declared such result? Even when they came, they did not consult the stakeholders, and I was not even aware. I was told that they are going to Central Zone, Plateau Central, for a review of an election. When they went, they insisted that the former returning officer should resign on the basis that he was not ready to declare the real winner, because the real winner is Ambassador G.Y. Gotom. The people's mandate cannot be stolen. The people's mandate must be restored. I am talking about the illegality of that particular election. Why would you take 2 months? I'm sure a lot of Nigerians never are not informed that such elections were held for 2 basic months. That was why I greeted Nigerians in all nook and crannies of the nation to wake up to this particular live chat and let them know that on the Plateau, there was a winner who has not been declared. There was a fake one who was declared, and he's in the National Assembly. I don't know what kind of certificate was he offered, but I think the mandate of the people should be restored. Coming to talk about, or to summarize about what transpired on the Plateau, People's Democratic Party on the Plateau are the legal occupants, people who have structures on the Plateau. You can go and verify from the videos. I can open up the videos for you. Go and ask APC whether they ever conducted primaries. Do they have even a 1 single minute video of how they conducted their result? But we know in the PDP that pre-election matters rest within the party organs. If I'm having a problem with my wife, is it my neighbor who will come through the fence and say, I've not given food to my own wife? I don't think that can happen in Nigeria, and I don't think the legal system should listen to this issue in its own entirety. So I want to say, as my election tribunal is coming up on the 18, 19, 20, justice, equity, and fairness is all we expect on the Plateau and nothing else. You cannot mortgage the interest of the people. Democracy has been defined as government of the people for themselves, by themselves. So give governance to the people, not for someone to just come through the back door, or because maybe you have bags of money elsewhere, or you think you know Nigeria greater than us. No one is more Nigerian than all of us. We are all citizens of this great country. We expect justice, equity, and fairness, and nothing else. Respect the order of the appeal court. Thank you.
Mr. Gotom, thank you so much for setting the tone of that conversation. And PDP, as well as yourself, you have expressed your dissatisfaction with the tribunal's judgment. And we're even looking at a case where PDP has even said that it goes against the will of the people who voted for the party. Could you explain why the PDP believes that the tribunal's decisions do not reflect the voters' choices? And exactly what steps are you going to take to address this? Now, also, when we look at, if we talking about how you want to intend it, and when you look at the verdict of Plateau State's National Assembly Election Tribunal nullifying Benile's victory due to issues related to the validity of the party's nomination, what would you say were the specific reasons behind the failure of the PDP's nomination process in this case?
All I would want to say is that PDP has a legal structure, and if governance is that of the majority, why would someone who in the Central Zone, Barrister Bakula Long, former governor, check about the results that was displayed by INEC, someone who lost in his own polling unit, someone who lost woefully, sat to just cook stories and went up and obtained judgment. I want to tell Nigerians that I do not believe in what has happened on the Plateau, and I will continue to disagree at this particular point on the basic fact that we have panel 1 and 2, and panel 2 has declared Simon Modcon as the sitting senator of Plateau North. Isaac Kwalu has been declared as House of Representatives. Musa Aga has been declared in Court 2 as the winner of that election at the tribunal. I don't know how this particular one came after the first judgment. Well, as a matter of rational judgment, everybody has the opinion to say what he feels it is right. But we are hoping that by 18 of this particular month, Justice Tukur, I see him as a just and a fair person, he will be able to at least see and do the needful. But for the past judgment, Benilar, you need to come to Plateau and know who Benilar is. The daughter of the former governor, the popular Chief Solomon Downship, the woman who will even win election even if she stays in Abuja. And you now go and see my colleague, Bali Napoleon, who won the majority of vote in the southern zone. All of a sudden, you just picked the majority of the vote and you said you've upturned this. I pray this is a dream and that at the end of the day, they should come and apologize that it was indeed a huge mistake, because when the appeal court has passed its own verdict, it supersedes the decision of the Federal High Court. So I know, certainly, whoever is saying that Ambassador G.Y. Gotom is not winning, I think the person is dreaming. But all I'm trying to say is that for the fact that INEC did not follow the legal procedures of my own election, I expect that my election should be recomputed on issues of non-compliance, massive mutilations, and overvoting. Let G.Y. Gotom be declared as the distinguished senator of the great people of Plateau Central first. Then we can now move into the issue of non-structure. For non-structure, I have a structure that is formidable, a structure that was conducted, a structure that the loser affirmed and even congratulated the winner. All of a sudden, people who never had a 1-minute video of their own primaries are the ones challenging. What a wall, what a democracy. My own issue is not about being a senator at all costs. No. I want to demand judgment for the widows, the orphans, and all the electorates who voted me passionately, and let the mandate of the masses be returned to them.
But we certainly hear you.
We should look.
We certainly hear you, Mr. Gotom, and you've made it very clear that the appeal court is greater than the tribunal. But in the event that the outcome of the tribunal or the outcome of the appeals court, you know, it's in line with what was also reached in the tribunal, what would be your next course of action? Briefly, please.
Are you trying to tell me that the appeal court will speak from the both side of their mouth? There was a documentary evidence and a judgment was passed, and it is documented, it is written. Check the national dailies. You discover that it is in black and white that judgment has been obtained by the appeal court for the PDP. So the same appeal court cannot come to say they are not part of that particular document.
All right, then. Thank you so much for your time, and we wish you, of course, all the best with your appeal.